Cyber Uncut. Discover the changing face of business, government and national security as Australia navigates the cyber revolution.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Cyber Uncut podcast. It's been a hot minute since I did one of these, Dan.
Yeah, you were still on leave last week.
Yeah. How'd it go?
Great. We had Jake in talking about Qantas, and then Bethany is brilliant as always.
Absolute trooper. This is Daniel Croft talking opposite me, obviously. My senior colleague now on AI Daily, as well as, we'll just call you senior colleague.
Yeah. We don't have a title yet, but
yeah,
we're getting through that,
Bot wrangler.
Yeah. a little bit.
And we are joined by Carlos C. from HR Leader, their grad journalist. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, boys.
Oh, you are very, very welcome. So, actually, start with you. How's your week been?
Oh, it's been pretty good. Cruisy, just getting into the swing of the year.
So for those out there who don't know what a grad journalist is, where did you come from?
I came from uni.
So that's mum and dad.
I was about to say that, but so after mum and dad, I went to uni, and here I am. It's pretty much a role where I'm just here for a year. And then I become a journo after a year.
Woohoo! Excellent. How long are you into that journey?
I am nearly 6 months into the journey.
Wow, that went quick.
And we haven't scared him off yet.
I'm holding on.
Good sign. Good sign.
And how's your week been?
It's been good. I'm looking forward to today. I'm going away for my anniversary with my partner this weekend, just to about an hour out of Sydney.
Yeah.
Nice.
Relax, chill. But other than that, it's been a nice busy week.
It has been, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So on that note, let's get right into it. And Carlos, the reason you're here with us is not to have a beer with us at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? But we've got some HR news because of the ACTU signing up with a new AI program. Talk us through it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty amazing. It's an Australian first. They're pretty much coming together to really propel the voices of workers.
ACTU is coming together with who?
With Microsoft Australia.
Excellent. Yeah,
I think that was an important one.
Yeah.
They've agreed to provide union leaders and workers with practical insights and training into the AI trends, the applications, through formal learning sessions and union-specific AI training as well.
Union-specific AI training.
No, it's like they're trying to actually...
Red flag!
They're trying to come together to sort of see how they can get unions on board and sort of cater the training to them. So
that's really interesting, given that I'm sure a lot of unions are worried about AI taking jobs.
Yeah.
Here's Microsoft working with the ACTU going, no, it's all chill. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm reading between the lines here?
Yeah, no, it's I think it's quite an important step because, there is that sort of backlash with all of the jobs that seem to be an issue. You've got Fiverr, which said they would cut 250 jobs to become an AI first company.
Yeah, we saw CommBank do that last year.
Anthropic as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. So I think this is just a bit of reassurance to the unions and whatnot. And it's an Australian first framework, like I said, and its goal, I quote, is to have a collective voice for workers in the design, development and deployment of AI through Australian workplaces. So it really...
I mean, I can't argue with that, really.
I think what you'll end up seeing is if you get unions on board with AI use, this is probably going to be like a human-centric kind of hybrid AI kind of thing that goes forward, that's what I'm all for. I did a write-up yesterday from Kumar Mitra, I believe the name was.
Yes, correct.
From
you
Lenovo.
are correct. Yep.
And he was discussing the importance, I think you guys may have had a look at that as well, the importance of if you want AI in your business to be sustainable and to be responsible and to actually work for your business, it needs to be human-centric, and I couldn't agree more. That's how we work here with AI. It is very, very much human-centric. No one's losing jobs. And I used a great example going back to CommBank of when you don't make it human-centric and it blows up in your face. And I think if
you're
AI,
begging people to come back.
Exactly, yeah. If AI is going to work, especially at the level it is now, it needs to be human-centric. And I think this is going to be a great way to empower that, which is awesome. So
Carlos, you must see a really interesting angle on AI in the workforce. What's the take from the HR side of things when it comes to AI coming into everything?
I think there's a really, from what I've seen, the stories I've written, there's a balance. Obviously, the human-centric side is what's needed because I think companies sort of get into the trap of trying to focus on efficiencies.
Yeah.
And they just try to be like, okay, how can we profit and how can we cut costs?
Yeah.
And that seems to be...
And humans so often are the cost.
Yeah. So I think it's... What I've seen is just for HR leaders to sort of work with their workers
Yeah.
to like upskill. And obviously there is a skills gap for older workers who may be a bit like apprehensive with the new technology.
Yeah, I mean, not even older workers necessarily. So my partner was out of the workforce for 2 years, and it was the 2 years when AI hit.
Yeah.
So getting back into it, especially in what she does, IT and escalation management. She's currently working in cyber, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Just like, what is this?
Yeah. Especially because that space has moved so rapidly
So
as well.
fast.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
there's I haven't spoken to anyone specifically, but I'm sure the upskilling in that is out of this world, because we've seen, such a dramatic escalation of AI-powered threats and quite scary.
Good and bad AI.
Good and bad.
Did you learn much about AI while you were at uni?
A little bit, not much.
Not much.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because you've come to a company where, as Dan and I have said quite a lot, we're working a lot with AI. We try to use AI as definitely a force multiplier.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by that when you got here? And
In terms of how much AI is being used, I think I definitely was a bit underprepared because AI was sort of outlawed at uni. They were like, we don't really want you to use it. Maybe it was like the sort of course I was in because I'm not too sure, but definitely.
It's really fascinating that a university preparing people to go into the workforce is taking that attitude with AI. Now, as I often say, tech bros up against the wall when revolution comes. But nonetheless, AI is here to stay. So I think some level of education and preparation for the fact that it is here, it will be part of workflows, it would seem to be vital. So,
I think a lot of like educational institutions, like university schools, are starting to go, all right, we know you're going to use AI. We can't avoid it. We probably should let you because that's the future of work. Instead of marking you down for using AI, we want good use of AI. So they'll look for in an interconnected world and go, no, okay, you've put in one prompt. This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Versus, okay, you've used it not for research because that's not a good idea, but you've used it to help structure things, or it's helped you come up with ideas for arguments that you've then verified yourself, or things like that. Good actual, like, efficiency gains. And things that actually improve the quality, and again, human-centric. And I think if that's the way of the world and that's how people are getting trained to use it in the future, and you don't hear this very often on this podcast.
No, you don't.
This could be a very good thing.
So that's the good side of AI. I mean, actually, I really like the unions getting involved at this level. Even though Microsoft's probably using it as a bit of a branding exercise, I'm sure the ACTU won't let them get away with that.
Hopefully.
Speaking of things AI gets away with.
Grok.
Grok.
So we covered this last week.
Yeah.
And, quick recap, Grok introduced, or XAI, there's XAI, Grok.
Yeah.
Introduced a new edit image button. And instantly people went on and started using it to undress real photos of real people, including children.
Yeah.
Not great.
Not great.
Really not great. That's an understatement.
Now, since then, I believe Malaysia and Indonesia have just banned it outright.
Yeah, they've done a temporary ban. The US has also called for app stores, Apple Store, and
The US?
The US has.
The US.
Oh, and US Democratic senators.
Cool.
Not the government.
Yeah.
They called for the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store to block it as well. And they said, if you don't, you're a hypocrite, because when the government asked you to block ice tracking apps, as in like the ice, not the frozen water. And they instantly did.
Yeah.
And that didn't cause a real danger to children and like people like this is.
Yeah.
So they're saying if you don't do it, you're a massive, massive hypocrite.
Yeah, absolutely.
The actual US government has been a bit less.
Well, we'll get to that one.
Yeah.
But so UK's Ofcom has come out swinging as well,
Yes.
and they're considering. Are you across what's happening with Grok much at the moment, Carlos?
A little bit. I've seen. Obviously, it's like super controversial, but it's.
Look, I'd stay away from it as well.
Yeah.
Like I actually not only left X a couple of years ago, but then soon after I realized, wait, if you're going to start training your AI on content that I'm a part of, I deleted my entire account. Every precious handcrafted tweet, and some of them are some of my best work, I will say. But all gone lost.
Good
like
call.
tears in
The only way
rain.
to store them properly is print them out in paper and hang them on the wall.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Admire
Frame
the
them.
glory.
Yeah. But so that's all of that. The latest wrinkle in the Grok saga is, despite all the nudify and child sexual abuse material proliferating on the app. The Pentagon loves it. Pete Hegseth has come out going, we are integrating Grok into classified and unclassified military networks across the Pentagon. It's going to be part of our greatest warfighting tool. We want all the data that Grok can use to make the best decisions. Yada, yada, yada. And I hate everything about it.
Yeah,
not a good idea at all.
The lefty in me is screaming, he liked the Mecha Hitler thing.
He liked the Mecha Hitler thing. Yeah. Hegseth, 3 champagne bottles down and just going, yeah, I like this Mecha Hitler thing. I want to get him on my side.
Maybe he was drunk. Maybe he thinks he can use the edit image button to remove, combat armor and things like that in combat and just give himself the upper hand.
He could take a satellite image of a target he wants someone to bomb and just remove all of the ground-based air defenses to make it look as though it's going to be easy to hit.
You know what? He's actually a genius.
Amazing. Who thought that dealing with that search and destroy of air defenses would be so simple?
Revolution.
Yeah. But you know what really rattled my bones about this? So he's currently on a tour of defense industrial base sites. Yeah, factories, shop floors, what have you. He announced Grok, being part of the Pentagon, at a gathering of SpaceX workers in Texas at one of their major headquarters. So he's there on stage with a leering K-hold Elon Musk. And so here are the two extra things that really annoy me. The tour is called the Arsenal of Freedom Tour.
Of course it is.
So
checks out.
Arsenal of Freedom it might sound like it's something a US statesman might have said, and it is very similar to what a US statesman did once say. In 1940, before USA entered World War II, the then president, Roosevelt? Yes, said that the US would be the arsenal of democracy. With the intention that maybe he couldn't get the US into World War II, but he could certainly supply the current belligerents, mostly the UK and Russia, with everything they needed. That's when the Lend-Lease program came up. And the idea was, we can't fight for you, but we'll give you all the stuff you need to fight.
See, Arsenal of Democracy does seem like a much more we're protectors. Arsenal of Freedom seems like you'd see it on a MAGA shirt.
So I've looked into this, and I'm pretty sure the first time the term Arsenal of Freedom actually pops up is in 1988, and it's a Star Trek The Next Generation episode called The Arsenal of Freedom.
Right.
And it's a riff on the term Arsenal of Democracy about a star-spanning empire that goes bust because it sells weapons to everyone without really caring. Yeah. So it was always meant to be a little bit of a tongue poke at America.
Yeah.
And now America's going, yeah, we're the Arsenal of Freedom.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just not reading it right. But to make matters worse, on stage, Pete Hegseth throws up the Vulcan salute.
Yeah.
I did see the photo of that.
And it just makes me even angrier, if you can believe such a thing.
Oh, no, I believe that's the bit you're fuming about.
Yeah, as I said in work chat, no one tell Hegseth that the Vulcan ideology embraces infinite diversity and infinite combinations. Diversity. And the man hates diversity. So, I guess we're just starting the podcast on a really angry, nerdy note.
I will say our government has been less active, but much better about this whole Grok saga. Very, very quickly, E-Safety Commissioner Julie Inman-Grant said action needed to be taken immediately. This was last week, so very, very early on she made her comments. A number of international bodies, including the Safety Commissioner, are investigating the matter. And she said AI developers need to ensure safeguards at every stage of the product lifecycle to prevent abuse by bad actors. Now, she's got a history fighting off X for the content that it publishes on the platform. Yeah. And while I believe X was charged by eSafety, well, charged isn't the right
Charged is the wrong word, but they were called out.
X didn't just ignore it, which is great.
Yeah, love that for us.
And then Albanese also made comments. He used the word abhorrent, which I think is perfect.
Well, I mean, that about sums it up.
And then Susan Ley, she also agreed with Albanese.
One of the rare times she actually agrees with him. Yeah,
but you can't really disagree with what he's saying, can you?
We love X.
Well, that happened in the US.
Yeah.
She said action also needed to be taken. Still awaiting, said action.
Actual action.
But our government has at least been much more appropriate about
than
the scenario.
Say the US government. The weird thing is, and we'll throw to a break shortly, but back a few years ago, if you'd come aboard with Momentum Media and you didn't have a Twitter or X account, the first thing I would say would be get one.
Yeah.
Like it used to be the absolute mantra. If you're a journalist, you need to be on there because that's where everyone is, from politicians to newsmakers to CEOs to people on the ground. You'll get so many stories just paying attention to your Twitter feed.
Yeah.
Right. Get the heck off X.
Yeah.
Just find other places. Mastodon, really, really good. I think you're on Mastodon now.
Yeah, I don't use it as much as I should.
I use it every day.
Very
It's pretty good, and there are a lot of good cybersecurity types there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just amazing me that in a few short years, it's like, yeah, get on X. No, get off X.
Yeah. Well, I was using X a lot when I first started here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great threat researchers and people that
and threat feeds as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People pointing out hacks really, really early, and it's a really, really great tool. But I avoid it as much as I can these days.
Like a plague.
Yeah.
Anyway, Carlos, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having
I'm
me.
sure we'll have good reason to have you back on again. Next time, I don't know, either there is a human resources related hack or more stuff between workforce and use of AI. But thank you for joining us, and we're going to throw to a quick break. Welcome back to Cyber Uncut. My name's David. I'm joined by Dan, and now we're going to very, very shortly get into crimes.
Yes.
But there is one important note we do need to get back to regarding Grok and its image generation capability, and that's they've removed it.
Yes, so that edit image button.
Yeah.
After I think investigations, was it the California Attorney General? I think like
That makes sense.
One, I also saw Elon Musk said I wasn't even aware. I've not seen any of this CSAM material on X, even though he'd already come out and said this is terrible. I can't believe this has happened. Now he's like, oh, I didn't even. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But yes, now the edit image button, I believe, has been
there was
removed.
for a bit, it was only available to paid subscribers, and that was meant to cut down access to it. But nonetheless, even paid subscribers could still create their own personal horrid content.
The fact it wasn't taken down immediately, like, okay, we can't even confirm this, but there are reports we need to investigate ourselves. We'll take it down, and if it's confirmed, we'll make a fix and then chuck it back up.
If someone comes to me, and I know we're just going to talk about this briefly, but
Yeah.
holy heck. Someone came to me and said, hey, the global social media platform you're using is creating CSAM. What do you want to do about it? I'd be like, turn it off.
Yeah, just like turn it off for an hour. I don't care.
Get rid of it.
Because leaving it on, if you're just thinking from like a shareholder standpoint or like a financial standpoint, that's going to do a lot more damage than an hour of having no ad revenue.
We'll just give it to paid people, because people who pay money to be on X, they're fine, upstanding citizens.
Yeah, you're not going to have perverts and creeps going, this is worth my money because I can do horrible, horrible things.
Yep.
Anyway.
All right. So let's get to cybersecurity. And it's been a bit of a week in hacking here and abroad. So let's start abroad. Nissan Motors got hit.
Yeah. So the second car manufacturer by the same group in roughly a week, which is crazy.
Oh.
So Nissan,
I have been away for a bit, haven't I?
Yeah. So it was literally at the end of last week while you were away.
Yeah.
Everest.
Yep.
Everest ransomware, we cover them a lot because they are prolific and they just keep doing it. They listed Nissan on the 10th of January, and they threatened to publish allegedly stolen data 4 days from the time I wrote the story. So tomorrow, apparently.
Okay, something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on. So they said 900 gigabytes. Within that is 60,000 text files, 17,000 CSV files, 31,000 zip files, and 47,000 zip. Did they say, they must have said zip twice because I've just blindly followed it and written zip twice. Good job, Dan.
You're just getting into the mind of the hackers, that's all. You're just so in the mind that you
well done.
Yeah.
They actually, weirdly, I thought if this was Nissan Motor Company, which it is specifically, that this would all be typically Japanese files.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese car company. It seems to be largely Canadian.
Is the Nissan Motor Company what they trade under, for instance, in Canada?
That's as far as I understand, the like overarching brand.
One,
because there's Nissan Motor Company, and then they have brands like Nissan.
Yeah.
They also have Infiniti, which is their luxury brand.
Right.
Like Toyota has Lexus kind of thing. Yeah. But then there was a list of dealers with details for those dealers, and they were all US based. So it seems to be North America.
Yeah.
Nissan Motor Corporation had not issued a statement at the time I wrote the article. I did reach out to them and got nothing back.
Yeah. So, which is so often the case when we're dealing with big companies, especially overseas companies like that. They look at the fact that we're an Australian outlet and go, nah.
They either prep a statement themselves, or they don't. Yeah. They don't seem to respond.
Yeah.
Now, Everest has been pretty prolific in the US with car companies at the moment, and kind of proven that they are publishing what looks to be credible data.
Yeah. Have they published any sample data for this one?
This is for the next one, Chrysler.
Chrysler, okay.
Yeah, so just days after the Nissan, before the Nissan attack, I should say, Chrysler was listed. They said they had personal contact information of individuals, including names, phone numbers, addresses, dates of birth, and email addresses, as well as agent work logs, which are records of attempts to call found numbers, call statuses, updates on vehicle status, examples sold, repaired, owner not found. And they said Chrysler failed to respond by the deadline and posted what it had.
Okay, yeah.
Now, Chrysler was hit, I think, included in a breach last year. It was the Stellantis one.
Yes.
Not sure if there's any connection between that, if there was some credentials or
I mean,
other
there
sort
could
of
have been easily,
access
if you
sold
get like a
or-
whole whack of credentials or even just, email addresses, you can start to brute force that and maybe get access downstream. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I won't go into too much detail on it, but we did also cover that Everest, just prior to that, ASUS was hit.
Yeah, they've been busy bees indeed.
So this is all massive companies,
Yeah.
and based on the Chrysler one, it does look legit,
Yeah.
but I can't confirm.
Yeah.
These guys
But
are
they're,
criminals
as you
and
said,
they
like
lie.
they're three really big names, and one of the trends that we're seeing is a move away from big game hunting. Going after these big targets for big paydays and maybe doing less incidents. And what a lot of outfits are doing is going after smaller targets and a lot of them.
Yeah.
That's often what we see with Australian victims getting hacked. They're small to medium businesses. Yeah.
I guess if you can breach the big guys and get bigger money and do this less, that's probably a good thing if you're a cyber criminal.
Good if you're good at what you do.
Yeah.
That is being a criminal, yeah.
I will say as well, ASUS did confirm there was a cyber incident as well, so that adds legitimacy. But they said it was an ASUS supplier, so this looks to be a supply chain thing.
Yeah.
But this adds a little bit of legitimacy to what they're saying. So
I mean, as we often say, these guys operate on a certain level of trust. And while you can't trust a criminal, these guys operate because when they say they've got something, they've got something. If they don't, people learn that they're just bluffing, and
then ransoms
where's
don't
their
get
business model?
paid.
Yeah.
People don't buy data. It's not in their interest.
Absolutely. So okay. That's nasty, especially if you're a worker at Nissan, Chrysler, or Zeus possibly. But closer to home,
this one's crazy.
Yeah, this is like how many schools in Victoria?
All of them.
Oh.
Which is roughly 1,700 schools.
So they went after the Department of Education, didn't they?
Yeah, so it's the Victorian Department of Education.
We don't know who it is yet either.
No, we don't know the threat actor. They said that it was an unauthorized third party.
Yep.
Breached the school's network and accessed sensitive data. Now, this is data of current and former students. Now, there's been no evidence of public disclosure, which is good.
Boy, will we be keeping an eye out for that.
I guess. Yes, we will be. But this seemed to be the names, encrypted passwords, year levels, and schools of thousands of current and former students. So a department spokesperson said the safety and privacy of students is our top priority. We've identified the point of the breach and have put safeguards in place, including the temporary disabling of systems to ensure no further data is able to be accessed.
Yeah.
Great. They're now working with cyber experts and government agencies. They're communicating to schools. I believe someone found one. I think it was 7 News or the AFR reported that they're prepping to contact parents.
Yeah, they
this.
would be. Absolutely.
They've either begun or they are prepping to in the next couple of days.
Because as we know right now, they're working out what data's been accessed and how much and who. And that's not a simple process.
What they can confirm so far is that home addresses, phone numbers, and birthdays, as well as any staff information, were not accessed. So this was obviously select databases containing the information I mentioned was leaked. So Victorian opposition leader Jess Wilson has come out quite angry at the Premier about this. She has said... Jacinta Allen must confirm the number of students exposed and how the cyber incident took place. She said this is a deeply concerning incident and families need immediate answers. Jacinta Allen must confirm how many students have been exposed, what sensitive information has been compromised, and how this incident occurred.
All of which will be disclosed once they know.
Yeah, and I also don't like, we need to know how this occurred. Well, maybe they know, but they haven't been able to fix that vulnerability yet. I know systems are offline to prevent anything, but no, you don't just come and disclose that. I'm going to defend Jacinta Allen on that.
No,
not
me too,
immediate
actually.
release.
Yeah.
I hope it does come out.
Yep.
But give time.
Give time.
We
Absolutely.
need to protect the victims and the schools and everything here from further incidents.
Yeah, that's a deeply concerning one.
Yeah, really scary. Really, really scary.
1,700 schools.
Yeah, it's not a small number, is it?
No, it really isn't. So we're going to stick locally for a bit, and we're talking back to deepfakes now, I guess. CommBank. So they're warning of deepfakes and basically said, hey, Aussie businesses just aren't quite ready to work out what's fake and what isn't.
Yeah, well, it was quite an alarming number. A couple of numbers that kind of indicated that Australians are very overconfident in their ability to identify deepfakes. Now, like we've been doing. Exposed to a lot of AI and scams at the same time for quite a number of years now. And I think, that we could very easily fall into overconfidence. But if you head to the CommBank AI deepfake scam page, just Google that, there is a number of images that some are AI generated and some are not. Have a go at picking which ones are which. I'll start with that. So very, very, very worthwhile. They don't have answers on there, which is quite annoying. I had a go. I would say look for things like jewelry and stuff, warping, eyelashes, small things that the AI is not as efficient at doing.
Because it's not as simple as like, I just look for the sixth finger anymore.
No, it's not. It's advanced so rapidly away from that. And it's quite realistic. Now, some of them might be more obvious than others, but I could not pick all of them, I don't think. I think I did okay, though. We'll never know. James Roberts, manager of Group Fraud Management Services at CommBank or CBA, he told SBS News that what they've been talking about in this new study is deepfakes. So often hosted on social media platforms, dating apps, and even messaging platforms. So in the actual report, CBA added humans tend to trust faces, voices, and familiar people. Deepfakes
it's kind of wired into us, really, isn't it? Yeah.
So let's get into the numbers. Yeah. So around 27% of Australians say they've witnessed a deepfake scam in the past year. Investment scams, they're the biggest one at 59%. Business email compromise at 40%. And relationship scams, which I actually thought would have been the highest.
You'd think.
38%. So it's still pretty prevalent.
Yeah.
Australians, however, 89% feel they could identify a deepfake scam. 89%.
That's really interesting.
9 in 10, pretty much.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's some kind of weird correlation with the fact that it's a known thing. Australia is a country of early adopters. There's a new technology, we come out and we want it. We grab it. New phone, new tech, new whatever. And I'm wondering if because of that, we've got this idea of, we're technologically savvy. We know what a deepfake is.
Well, funnily enough, the study also found that when it comes to deepfake scams, only 42% were familiar with AI-enhanced scams.
No.
That's less than half.
Yeah,
the people
that's
that
a
were going.
lot of education work to be done right
there. There was another crazy statistic here.
Yeah.
74% agreed that they should set up a safe word. So, for context, if you set up a safe word with a family member...
I'm sorry, I need to
I know where you're going with
this.
this.
From the top of that sentence again. Safe word?
Yes, safe word. So, say...
Banana.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so your immediate family, you're like, okay, we need to use the word, I don't know, banana, for example. So if you get a deepfake call and it sounds exactly like your family...
you drop the safe word.
You can say, what is the safe word? And if the AI can't answer it...
Look, it's a great idea. It really is. But the idea of going, Mom, what's the safe word? Is a sentence that I just hate. But also, you know what I'm suddenly thinking of? That scene in Terminator 2. Where Arnie
with the dog.
Yeah.
What's your dog's name?
Your mother's dead.
Yeah. How's Wolfie? Yeah. Wolfie's fine, honey.
Your mother's dead.
Yeah. Your foster parents are dead. I love that movie. It's the best Terminator by far. That was probably a horrible noise.
Yep.
Now, 74% agree they should set up a safe word. Despite this, only 20% say they have actually set one. So Australians know what they need to do, apparently.
Safe word experts.
I wonder if this overconfidence came... They're sitting in a survey, and they went, do you know you should set up a safe word? And they went, that's a really good idea. Yeah, I did know that. Sure, yeah. And in case you didn't get that, I whispered, that's a really good idea. and then they've gone, I know you're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Have I done one? Oh, not
cool.
yet.
Well, safe word's definitely going to the headline for this podcast, I can tell you that. I joke, but it actually is not the worst idea to come up with, I don't know, even like how's Wolfie kind of.
Yeah,
it's a safe phrase. It's something you just go, hey, yeah. It's kind of elegant.
Yeah.
Weird.
It doesn't have to be a word. It can be a passphrase.
A passphrase, yeah. How's Wolfie?
Yeah. How's Wolfie's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Because it
Except
works.
now everyone knows it, but so maybe not that one.
No,
Yeah.
but no one knows the name of your dog. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Anyway, who said this bit? There was someone. Did I mention their name before? No, that was James Roberts.
Are you having an AI hallucination?
I am a little bit. So I'm going to ignore this quote because pretty much.
It's very early in the morning while we're recording. So apologies.
Avoiding a scammer completely is the ideal solution, according to Roberts.
Yeah.
He said, look, you might get a call and you're like, great, let's, have a go at them, cuss them out. But it's just best not to do it at all. One thing that could happen from this, especially with technology lately, is you say words and they grab that.
And if you say enough, then they've got enough to recreate your voice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a personal anecdote. My mum got a call from a scammer once and she hung up on the scammer. And the scammer called back and called her, and this will need to be bleeped,
Okay, there's a coin in the jar, but not me this time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like...
Mum's...
I'm imagining the sheer chutzpah for a scammer to call back up and go, you treat me with respect, woman.
Yeah, it was... Mum was in tears. I was like probably 8 at the time.
Yeah.
And Mum was like crying on, like laughing at this. And we saved the recording. I don't know if we've still got it. Because that was on our... You
must bring that to work. We must hear this exchange on the podcast.
Unfortunately saved to our landline phone.
Okay.
Which was very fancy, one of the wireless ones.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that unit's
probably
dead
has
and gone.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
What a shame. Maybe we should get your mum on the podcast so we can reenact it.
Yeah, sure. I'll see. I'll call her up.
We can get her to talk about safe words.
Please
and
no.
on that bombshell, we're going to go to a break and we will be right back. Welcome back to Cyber Uncut. I'm joined by Dan Croft, my AI-powered, no, AI-enabled colleague.
Very good.
I'm David Hollingworth, and we have actually some good news.
Yeah, good AI news.
Good AI news.
Believe it or
Yes,
not.
Yeah. So Bandcamp have come out swinging against AI, haven't they?
Yeah, they've pretty much said we're not doing AI music, which...
As
glorious.
a musician, you must find very, very good.
Bandcamp, look, let me just kind of talk about what Bandcamp is for a start. They're actually very good to musicians. So you put your music up there, you can sell physical media up there, and it's a great way to make money compared to traditional streaming or, standard streaming services like Spotify, where you'll get paid, 3 cents for every,
and you'll be thankful
bajillion streams. Instead, you go on Bandcamp and you can sell physical media with great pricing options, including pay what you want. And a lot of artists will do that just to get stuff out there, and they'll still make more money than on, Spotify.
Yep.
Anyway, they released an article called Keeping Bandcamp Human. And
I'm liking this, yeah.
And they were very kind of polite in how they said this, but they said they would ban any music generated completely or partially, and any use of AI to impersonate other artists would also be banned.
Yeah.
So they said Bandcamp's mission is to help spread the healing power of music by building a community where artists thrive through the direct support of their fans. We believe the human connection found through music is a vital part of our society and culture. Completely agree. Mm-hmm. And that music is much more than a product to be consumed. It's the result of a human cultural dialogue stretching back before the written word, Yes, it is.
Yep. Keep banging those rocks together.
Similarly, musicians are more than mere producers of sound. They're vital members of our communities, our culture, and our social fabric. Bandcamp was built to directly connect artists and their fans and to make it easy for fans to support artists equitably so they can keep making music. So, AI music, AI artists, banned. It also heavily encouraged people to report any, music they believe to be AI generated, so that they could review it and subsequently ban it if it is AI. Now, this is a stark contrast, for example, to OpenAI, who in October were believed to be generating their own music generation bot. Not great. They were apparently working with school students from the Juilliard School, and immediately that caused issue. Nick Cave, Australian music icon, said AI-generated music saps the soul out of the craft of songwriting. I think we've spoken about this on the podcast before, but I want to read his quote again because it is the most Nick Cave quote. I can imagine it in his voice. There are all sorts of temptations in this world that will eat away at your creative spirit, but none more fiendish than that boundless machine of artistic demoralization, ChatGPT.
I mean, sing it, Nick.
Yeah. A songwriter using ChatGPT to, in quotes, write his lyrics is participating in the erosion of the world's soul and the spirit of humanity itself. To put it politely, should another be effing, I'll just say effing, desist if he wants to continue calling himself a songwriter.
Yeah. Well,
and
tell us what you really feel, Nick.
AI artists are a thing. The Velvet Sundown was a big one. Started in early 2025. There's another one called, I forget the name of it, and I know some people in a band in the US. I've spoken to the guitarist a number of times. Who they've got an AI band has come up. With the exact same name as their band.
Oh, that'd be infuriating.
Yeah, it's terrible. I think they're trying to. I think they've done a bit of crowdfunding to try and get some money to kind of fight it.
Yeah.
But it's such a grey area because there's no copyright.
No, there isn't.
AI generation. If they've copyrighted the name, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. So good luck to them. I'm actually going to try and tee up a conversation and talk about it. So potentially you might see that in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, looking forward to that one. But no, that's bravo to Bandcamp and also bravo to Nick Cave. Now, the last bit of news we have for you today, and it's good news.
It is good news.
Nominations and submissions are open for this year's Australian Cyber Awards. The awards are open to all businesses operating in Australia that support the cyber supply chain. These awards are about people and businesses rather than products and platforms. And it's for everyone that does cyber, defense, insurance, cloud services, technology, STEM workers, consultancy, ransomware protection, you name it. If you're involved in cyber and you think you're doing good work, you need to get in contact and nominate a peer or a business or submit your own entry. Entries close February 6th. So you got about a month to get your entries in. There are 33 categories on offer this year, 23 individual and 10 group categories. Individual categories include CISO of the Year, Cyber Lawyer of the Year. We know a few good cyber lawyers.
We do.
Cyber Rising Star, Female Cyber Leader of the Year, Indigenous Cybersecurity Leader of the Year, and so on and so forth. The event themselves, the awards night, will be glittering, star-studded, if you consider cybersecurity operators and journalists like Dan and I stars, which hopefully you do. It'll be held at the Star in Sydney. It'll be a black tie affair. There'll be heaps of food and drink, because that's how we like our events.
Yes.
And it'll be a great night. Dan and I will be there, and we hope you can be too.
Yeah, this sounds like it will be the biggest of the lot. We get bigger
say this every
year,
and the funny thing is, it always is.
Yeah, and I am actually really, really excited for this year. I think it's going to be fantastic. One not to miss out on, and of course, if you see us there, come up, have a chat. Yeah. We'd love to talk to you.
Tell us stuff you like about what we do, what you don't like about what we do. We're happy to take criticism.
Tell us how terrible the podcast is.
Or bring us a drink. The drink will be free.
Yes.
Bring us a drink and tell us what you hate about us.
Included with your ticket.
Included with your ticket, a chance to yell at us.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be a great night. We're very, very excited by it. And during the day, of course, the Australian Cyber Summit will be on. So that will be talks, panels, so much information for anybody that in the industry that you'll come away from it full of learning.
I always learn a lot.
I hope we get the guy from New South Wales Police back, because he was fantastic.
He was really, really good last year. That was one that if you missed, don't risk missing anything else.
That was
brilliant.
An eye-opener, even for Dan and I, which are hip deep in cybercrime most of the time.
Yeah.
What this guy was talking about was... Whew.
Yeah, it just put a whole new perspective on everything.
Absolutely. So look, it's a great day, a great evening, and we hope we'll see you there. And that is enough for today's podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me, Dan. That was
Thank you.
That was a lot in that one.
It was pretty hard packed, and I do go off on a bit of a tangent sometimes, but I hope you will enjoy it.
Hope so. I always enjoy it. Yeah. So we'll be back next week. You can find us on cyberdaily.au. You can also find Dan and sometimes myself on aidaily.au. I think that's about it. Sign up to our newsletter, find us on our socials. Drop us a line. Drop us a line if you have some interesting news or you have some opinions you would like to share on cyber. And if you are a worker, if you work in cyber, if you're incident response, if you work on the legal side of things, anything, drop us a line. We'd love to talk to you because we want to try and talk to more people in the industry and get your stories out there.
And also leave comments. We love comments. We do get a lot of scam comments, so not those.
Oh, so many scam comments.
But please leave comments. Tell us what you like. Agree, disagree. We love to hear different opinions. As much as that may be a surprise from two lefties on the podcast, but
like
we
and
really
subscribe, ring that bell.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
And we'll be back next week. Thank you very much.